G'day mates, how's it going? Now over the weekend here in Australia, Anime Lab had a limited streaming event for the English and Japanese versions of One Piece Stampede to promote the DVD release of the film coming out soon in June. But yeah, I thought it'd be a great time to just give my thoughts on the English dub cast, as well as to just talk about the movie in general. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first off, personally, I haven't seen a large amount of English, a large amount of the English version of One Piece since back when it was on TV and 4Kids did the English dub for it. So there was a bit of a shock that initial shock you get when you watch something in Japanese and then you hear the English voices of it. There was that, but it didn't last more than 30 seconds. Hearing. It was mainly hearing Blackbeard's voice, hearing that because he's the first to appear really in the film for that one scene. But apart from that, as soon as the Straw Hats appear, it just flowed really well. Everyone's performance just clicked. They just went off of each other really well. But the standout performance for me was definitely the villain's voice, and that was done by Damien Mills. Now Damien Mills is a relatively speaking, when you compare it to the other voice actors in the film, relatively new voice actor, but you probably have heard him do the voice of Frieza in Dragon Ball Super, because Chris Ayres, because of the medical issues at the time, couldn't reprise his role for certain parts. So Damien Mills stepped up and substituted his voice for it, and he pulled it off splendidly in Dragon Ball Super. But the thing is, Frieza has a much higher pitched voice. So when, he did Douglas Bullett's voice, which needs a very menacing, deep, intimidating voice, I didn't expect him at all to do it, but he did it, and it was just fantastic. He really brought Douglas Bullett's character to life in this film, and so for that, hats off to Damien. He just did a fantastic job. But that's not to sell the other voice actors short. I mean, you've got veteran voice actors in the film all the way to new voice actors, and they all have amazing talent on display here. I mean, you've got Colin Clinkenbeard as Luffy, and Luffy himself is a difficult character because he's a very spontaneous vocal character, but he has a high-pitched voice, but at the same time, you couldn't do a high-pitched scream with his voice because I don't think it would work too well in English. So you've got to do it high-pitched, but during the screaming parts, not as high-pitched. And so it's you get that balancing act, And with Colleen, I mean, I've heard her voice male characters before, but mainly young kids. So hearing her do Luffy was great. She pulls it off really well. I definitely, you can definitely hear her have to work that balancing act between yelling and yelling, but also not bringing it up too high pitched, to just get that level right. But you also got great voice actors with Lucy Christensen as Nami. You've got Chris Sabat as Zoro. You've got Brina Palencia as Chopper. Eric Vale as Sanji. Sonny Strait as Usopp, Stephanie Young as Robin, Patrick Seitz as Frankie, and Ian Sinclair as Brooke. And then you got you got Johnny Young Bosch as Sabo in the film, and lots of other characters as well. It's packed full of talent, this cast is, and they all do a great job. And as for the film itself, I mean, the film itself is a festival. There's a festival that takes place in the film, and that really mirrors the film itself as a 20th anniversary of One Piece, and the film being a more, if I had to put a category on it, it's a more spectacle-oriented film. The plot isn't that deep, but it's, as a fan of One Piece and as a celebration of the series, it's fantastic. You're seeing so many different characters that fan favorite characters. They make it they either make a small appearance, or they make a big appearance and are featured in a scene or a shot and just do a quick bit of action. So it is really cool to see them all appear in the film in some way or another. But yeah, that's about does it for the review. I hope if you've seen the film as well, tell me what you think in the comments down below, especially if you've seen the English cast. What did you think? And if you liked the video, yeah, leave a like or comment but yeah, thanks for watching the video. I'll see you again. See you later.